Well, hey there. This is Coach Linda Baumgarten from the Connecticut Real Estate Investors Association, and I am very thankful that you are here because you are committed to investing in yourself and your training and your education, and then taking massive action so that you can create massive amounts of wealth and creating a legacy for your family, your grandchildren, and funding all of the passions that you may have in your life. So let's get started. So here we are in 2016. What is your goal for 2016? If you want to wholesale, which means that you're putting properties under contract and you're assigning the contract to somebody else, how many deals do you want to do this year? What about rehabbing? How many properties do you want to do, and what's going to be your profit margin? Buying and holding, how many units do you want to acquire this year? And maybe you want to be a private lender. Maybe you want to buy and sell notes or buy and sell tax liens. What do you want to do this year for 2016? And maybe you're just brand new and you just want to find out all the options. Well, don't worry about it. We've got you all covered. So I want to share with you the clues that our students have found this year in making money in real estate. Clues that coaching students caught and everyone else missed. So let me just run through just a few of these. So the school bus driver, she doesn't make very much money, but she's also a realtor, and she was driving her clients around, and she saw a for sale by owner sign, and her clients just weren't interested in it. And quite frankly, when I saw the property, I was like amazed. This house looks kind of ugly, but she really wanted to pursue it. So after making sure her client did not want to go after it, she called the number on the sign. And the first thing that the gentleman said is, well, where did you see it? Did you see it on Craigslist or did you see a sign? And Sally said, well, why? And he said, because it was a lot more money, $10,000 more money on Craigslist than it was on the sign. She says, well, I saw it on the sign. And she just saved herself $10,000 right off the bat. From there, she negotiated 100% owner financing. 100% owner financing for a year, and then was able to extend it for another 6 months. At the same time, she was able to get $60,000 in grants from her local town. $20,000 of that is forgiven. The rest of it gets paid when she sells the house, if she ever does, but she's planning to move into it and live there herself. Now, this is a property, had a for sale by owner sign on it, had a Craigslist sign on it, and nobody else bought it, but she did. And then we have a factory worker who recently had to negotiate a short sale on his own house. He then got engaged. He had 3 boys, and now they're pregnant with their 4th. They're very excited about that. He was able to find a house that was valued at $400,000. Now, this house was on the MLS. It had been listed for a year, and yet nobody bought it. He and his fiancée saw it, and the only thing wrong with it was that there was this huge tree that you couldn't see the house at all. But they saw the house itself. The house was in perfect condition. It was a bit of an odd layout, which that's what turned off some people also. But they didn't care because the house was very well constructed and hardly any work needed to be done, and they could move in right away. So they were able to negotiate with the seller a 100% owner finance transaction. All they had to do was pay monthly payments of $2,000 a month for 3 years, and at the end of 3 years, they would refinance. Pretty cool, right? To be able to live in a beautiful home in a beautiful neighborhood and not have to go to the bank, not get your credit checked, not have to come to the table with 5%, 10%, 20%. Just walk in and start making monthly payments. Then we have a musician, actually, who on his very first deal, he was participating in our coaching program. He went on a couple of appointments. All he wanted to do was make friends. And he saw a 6-family house that was listed on the MLS. And the first thing the realtor said to him was, don't even ask for owner financing. He's not going to accept it. To which Mike said, well, I haven't even seen the property, so I don't even know if I want it. So how about if we just get together? So from there, Mike did several different meetings and finally decided he wanted to buy this. He went up and he met with the owner and he met with the realtor. And he did not lowball the seller. I think he came down maybe $5,000 if that was it. And the seller was very happy, sat back at the conference table and smiled. And then Mike said to him, I need some help from you. And the seller said, what do you mean? He says, I need you to hold the mortgage. He says, well, how much of it? And Mike said with a straight face, all of it. And then started a couple of hours of negotiations, which we had already prepped him for, because all the way up from his home to this property, he was on the phone with the coaches going through all the different scenarios and how this conversation was going to go. By the end of it, he got 95% owner financing. He really only had to come up with enough money to pay the realtor's commission. He sold some equipment that he had that he never needed before, so he sold the equipment, found money for the down payment, and he borrowed money from a friend of his, a very small payment that he soon paid off. This was a property that, again, had been on the market for a year, and no one had been able to find it. But because he was trained in the coaching program, he was able to see clues about how he could construct this. And then one of the coaches bought a house that's now valued at $950,000. They only bought it for $251,900. Here's the crazy thing. This thing had been on the market for quite a while, and nobody bought it. But what she did is she picked up the phone, and there was a lot being sold right next door. She actually picked up the phone to find out how much that lot was going to sell for. The price? $250,000. Now think about it. She could buy a lot for $250,000, or she could buy a lot with a beautiful, very large ski house for $250,000, and she was able to negotiate it, and everybody else walked away. Since then, they've done some improvements, and now it's worth close to $1 million. Incredible. And then another one of our coaches earned $80,000 on a flip, a rehab flip, and then did it again with a potential profit of $125,000. That one they kept because they wanted to buy and hold. We've also helped coaching students walk away from bad deals. You know, sometimes deals just aren't any good. I'm going to share one with you in just a minute. But, you know, I'm going to share a couple of them with you, but sometimes the best deals that you can have are the ones that you walk away from. Just last week, the coaches walked through 2 different properties with brand new coaching students. They're starting class tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and they walked through 2 properties with them. The first one, great town, great area, but when they looked at it, the construction costs made this project too expensive and too time-consuming, and they would not make much of a profit. So the coaches said, no, we don't recommend you do that. Then the coaches went to another property, and everything was the right way to go for it. This one, they're going to make $40,000 profit potentially. So imagine that. If you had somebody walking through these deals with you and saying, yeah, this is a good deal, no, this is not a good deal, that could make the difference between making $40,000 or $50,000 or only making $10,000 or maybe even losing money, would that help you out? We have several students that are rehabbing properties in Fairfield County. We have a husband and wife team. They're working on their 15th rehab, making anywhere from $40,000 to $100,000 per deal. We have another 2 students have completed their 5th rehab. One sold in 8 hours. 8 hours. And again, these are properties that nobody was going after, but they did, and they got the bid. The power of having a team can make the difference between making huge profits and making no profits. For example, we have a student, and on her first deal, she joined the program 6 months ago. She's been very ambitious. She's on the phone with the coaches all the time saying, what about this deal? What about that deal? What about this one? What about that one? And the first deal she brought was this one. It was going to cost $102,000. She would have to come up with $25,000 down, and pay 10% plus 3 points to the hard money lender, and she would have gotten 1 property. Then she came across this one. She left coaching class. She drove home a new way, a different way that she normally goes. She found a for rent by owner sign, and she called them the next day. She decided not to call them at midnight, probably a good idea. She called the owners, and by being on the phone with the sellers, being on the phone with the coach, being on the phone with the sellers and the coach and back and forth, they were able to negotiate this deal, a purchase price of $680,000, only putting down 4%, which is $28,000, no points, and got 96% owner financing. 96% owner financing, she was able to purchase 3 properties for the same down payment. So the first one obviously failed. This one, by the way, there was another property she was looking at that was being listed as a 4-family. It was legally only a 2-family, and that one failed, and this one passed. She now has 6 units that she can rent out. The most successful real estate coaching program is right here in your backyard. You do not need to hire people from 3,000 miles away. You do not need to travel to Orlando or Las Vegas or anywhere else. The most successful real estate coaching program for you is right here in your own backyard. We're starting here, Connecticut, Wednesday, March 23rd. Now, if for some reason you hear this after March 23rd and you want to come in the second class, which is 2 weeks later, all of our material is recorded online so you can jump in right away. Make your plans to submit your application for approval right now. Here's what I have 2 websites for you. I'm going to pause so that you can write this down. So the first one, coaching.ctria.com. That's right, coaching.ctria.com walks you through all of the details of the program, what's included in all 3 levels. It also shows you lots of different case studies and testimonials for you. The other one, ctriacoachingprogram.com. Just go there right now. You could fill out an application and send it right over to us right away. I'll be getting it in my email. I'll call you back. We'll discuss it and see if being in the coaching program is right for you. So again, you have coaching.ctria.com and then ctriacoachingprogram.com. Here are some of the coaches in case you've never been to CT RIA. Joanne and Lou, they've been investing for over 30 years. Their primary method is buying and holding, but they've also done enough of their share of buying, fixing, and selling. They spend their summers boating. They spend their winters skiing. And they are masters of owner negotiations, of inspecting properties, in rehabbing properties, doing no money down creative financing deals. These are just a few of the no money down residual income properties they've done, anywhere from single families to 50-unit complexes. So if you want big deals, little deals, commercial deals, whatever, we have the expertise for that. We're known as the Millionaire Maker. Some of these folks you may have seen on TV, and they started out at CT RIA. They came to our meetings. They took lots of courses. They applied and took massive, massive action, and now they are now they run their own companies, and they are very successful in real estate. Most of our students, however, are people that you may or may not realize, and they're just quietly acquiring millions of dollars of assets. A lot of them buy, fix, and sell, and a lot of them buy and hold, or a mixture of both. So now it's your turn. So let me just explain really quickly about the coaching program. We call this the Freedom and Cash Flow Fast Track Coaching Program because we are a team of coaches. By the way, my expertise is in marketing, both online and offline marketing. I've rehabbed properties, I buy and hold properties, and I'm really good at explaining things because it doesn't really matter to you if our bank account gets bigger. What really matters is if your bank account gets bigger and better. And one of my biggest talents is being able to teach and explain things to you in a way that you can take action. These are just a few of the manuals that we have. A property owner's manual, a foundational program, Find It, Fix It, Flip It, or Keep It, a whole book on how to go through the closings, a checklist that you want to go through before you close on the deal, a guide to home maintenance and rehabbing, so when you're walking through the property, you know what you're looking for. By the way, we do take students out to a live property so you can walk through that and you can see what to look for. How to buy houses using none of your own money, and a guide to property management. So who is this system good for? Because this is the right time and the right place for you. So who is this system good for? It's good for you. It's just good for you, period. But here's some categories that you might be in. You may be afraid of losing your job and you want to protect your income. You may want to retire early. I talked to a gentleman the other day. He wants to retire at age 27. You know what? That is totally possible with real estate. You may want to be sending your kids to college, or you're sick and tired of showing up to work every day. Or you are first-time home buyers. We've helped out a lot of people buy their first home and buy it at a deep discount. And when they buy a rental property, they can actually live in a place for free and make extra money. And if you're new in the business, and also we deal with a lot of people who are experienced in real estate. We cover it all, quite frankly. Our coaches have been investing for 25 years in up markets and down markets. They're still doing deals in this market. Most of our deals are done with creative financing. Most importantly to you, our students are successful, and we are local experts. We know how to spell Connecticut. We know the towns and the areas, primarily in Connecticut, but also Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New York. And we'll hold your hand till you do your first deal. This is real life coaching and mentoring. It is not just books and CDs. That's the difference. Yes, there are plenty of books out there, but if you want somebody to walk with you through the job and make sure this is the right deal for you, yes, this is for you. By the way, somebody came to me last night and said, are there really this many good deals here? And you're coming into real estate at a really good time. There are many, many, many deals out there right now. New Haven has the highest flipping margin right now in the country, and we have one of the tightest real estate markets in the country, which means that if you have a decent rental property in a decent area and you do a good job of taking care of it, you will be able to rent these properties really quickly. So this is just a really quick case study of a two-family house that they found. There was a sign that says, please mow me, and they bought it with 100% owner financing. Since then, this was 20, 30 years ago. Since then, it's generated over $1 million and keeps on paying for them because they still have it in their portfolio, but they've been able to refinance it and gone shopping and bought more properties with it. This is a student deal of a two-family house that he found online, and he bought it for $280,000. He put $20,000 down. He got a private note from the owner for 6% for years 1 through 5, and then 7.5% for years 6 through 10 with a 7.5 cap on a note that was all amortized over 30 years to keep those payments low. His positive cash flow started out at $4,800 a year. If you multiply that by 10, the profit is $48,000. Here's another one that our student did. Remember I said you could buy move and live for free? He was right out of college. He found this multifamily house. He was able to buy it, and he lived in it. He lived there for free, plus he made an extra $500 a month passive income, $90,000 in equity. Pretty cool, right? Whoops. And then he bought another one. He bought a duplex. Then he got married, and now he has kids. His two investment properties pay for their single-family house, which I think is so, so important. There's just such a huge demand for these rental properties that they're going up and up in value. Now's the time to get in there for sure. You could also wholesale properties. Harry and his wife, Carlene, they studied how to wholesale properties. They really focused in on that because they wanted to homeschool their two younger children. Their oldest son, I think, has just graduated college, actually. And they found this deal, lovely pink, a little bit old-fashioned, lots of clutter. But they were able to wholesale this to another rehabber, and they made more money than the coaching program. Just one deal. If we can get you into your first deal, you'll pay for your coaching program. Here's a two-family house that is in West Hartford. That was the before, there's the after. He paid a wholesaler $10,000 for finding it. He made $28,000, and pretty good deal. There's lots of different strategies that we're going to go through. I don't have time in this presentation to go into it, but we have about 12 different ways of buying real estate without using your own money. But here's Mike again. He makes $14,000 a year on a building that he didn't own. He didn't own it for 2 years. He had it because he was doing a lease option. I believe that he finally got the deed a year ago, but it's still being owner financed. So owner financing can give you 0% to market percentage interest. You can get the loan for a year, 3 years, 5 years, even 30 years. I just want to share one more person, Cecilia, who now left a really high-paying job to start her own realtor business, realtor and property management company. And when she joined coaching, they had bought a single-family house. They were able to sell off the land and make more money than what they had paid for it. But over time, they realized that mortgages were being more and more difficult to get. And so when she was in the coaching program, she got exposed to owner financing. And here's the deal that they found. They purchased in 2012. They put down 25%. Owner financed 75%. They got a 10-year note, positive cash flow of $1,890 per month. Now, not only did they get owner financing, but because they knew what to look for and look for those clues, they could tell when the owner exactly when the owner was totally motivated to make a deal on this property. They didn't waste their time on somebody who wasn't yet motivated. When they jumped in there, this guy was so happy they went golfing. So here's the deal that Cecilia and Ron said is that they watched on television a couple that had acquired $1 million in savings, and that was going to generate $50,000 a year in retirement. Now, if you're used to making $1 million, if you can acquire $1 million, you probably need more than $50,000 a year to live on. So what they did is went into real estate. So they now, at the time, this was a couple years ago, they generated $60,000 a year in passive income, not including the W-2 deductions and property appreciation, with only 40% of what the other couple had saved. Here's another one that's getting $2,000 a month. Here's one that we helped them keep this deal together. We also discouraged him from another deal that was bad, and he's making $14,400 a year in cash flow. Here's Mike again, even in White Plains. This one, Sherry has an apartment on her own property, and it wasn't renting, and by changing her advertising, she was able to rent it overnight. She just was missing all the best features of her property, wasn't advertising it. And Nancy, she improved her value of her property by $24,000 because when the coaches went through there, the coaches just suggested certain things on this rental property, certain repairs, how to change her ad, increase the rent, and she got a much better paying tenant. These folks are just totally amazing. They've just built and built and built. They bought a 3-family house they got a home equity line of credit. Then they bought a 3-family house using it. They refinanced the 3-family house, paid off the home equity line of credit. Then they did it again. So now it's your turn. So we could go on and on and on. But really, what do you want? Do you want more money? Do you want to spend more time with your family? Do you want to take beautiful vacations or build a McMansion? Do you want that car? Do you have a passion that you want to finance? Maybe you have a nonprofit that you want to participate with or you want to create. Maybe, I don't know, whatever it is for you, let's see if we can make that happen. So why do you want to have a coach? Here's one coach that all of us here in Connecticut are familiar with, Gino Auriemma, the winningest coach around. And, why all those gals that come to UConn are extremely talented just coming in there. Why do they need a coach? Well, here's an example. An airplane, when it flies between here and England, is off course 90% of the time. But somehow it ends up there on time and at the correct destination because of continuous course correction. It responds to feedback from the navigation systems. That is what a coach does. A coach gives you that feedback to stay on track to your goals, even if you don't feel like it. The coach also provides a safety net. You can run those deals by them to make sure it's a good idea. Gives you confidence to make offers. That's one of the biggest things that we found is that once people start coming to us, we help them connect all the dots of all their training, all their education that they've gotten up until now, and it gives them that confidence to make offers. Plus, you have someone to be accountable to. I have students that will email me several emails a week telling me what they're doing so that they can stay on track. And it fast-tracks your education because you can lean on their experience, credibility, and contacts. I mean, imagine being able to work with somebody who's been in the business between 20 and 30-plus years as opposed to somebody who just got out of real estate school. So Andrew said this, that thank you again for an awesome dinner. We have coaching dinners from time to time. We get all the coaching students together, and they share ideas and network with each other. He walked away motivated, realizing part of what has been holding me back lately, accountability. He's very happy that he's part of this coaching program so he can get going on this. So again, these are just some of the manuals that we do. I just want to run through some of the things that these are some of the benefits for you. You get 8 live classes. We cover marketing, knowing the numbers, seller negotiation. The power is in your words. No money down techniques, repair inspections and estimates, contracts, closing the deal. You can bring your deals to class. We'll analyze them and negotiate them right in class, and that's an added benefit to everyone else attending. So about an hour of each class is going over student deals so you can learn from each other, and then we hit you hard with lots of new data and lots of information. If you're a Platinum Coaching student, you get to be a member of CT RIA forever, as long as we're around. And we give you lots of systems, how to find the most effective deals, how to do marketing on a shoestring. You do not have to spend lots of money. We have students getting up to 30% response on their marketing, and that gives you the ability to cherry pick the deals that you want to have. We give you lots of contracts. We give you tenant screening forms, contractor contracts, no money down, creative financing contracts, settlement statement, so it's in your favor. And then all of these manuals. By the way, these manuals include blueprints, checklists, fill in the blank things, all that. Then we walk you through a property. Sometimes it's a three-family house, sometimes it's a single-family house, because it's important for you to know what's important for you to look for and what don't you have to look for. Plus, we have a DVD of a bus tour that we did that you can take home and study. This is one of the most beneficial things for lots of students because, especially on rental properties, people discover that they do not need to spend as much money as what they thought. And then the case studies. You're going to hear over and over again all the different studies, all the different real-life stories that people have. So you're going to hear about them. The most important thing is that for the Gold and Platinum students, you get to talk to a coach every other week for as long as you're in the program. You also get unlimited deal reviews, so you can send us as many deals as you want, as many leads as you want. We'll actually role play with you the negotiations so you can go step by step. We will review your scope of work. We'll talk over your cost of materials. We'll talk over how to talk to your contractors. You also, well, we say 2 emergency 911 calls. Really, anytime you call us, we're going to respond. We've even responded on Christmas Day. We'll walk through your property for Platinum students, either physically if we can or virtually. We've gotten really good at that. And we'll go through your closing with you, your closing documents. This is Howard again. The coach has kept his deal together. And here's students from Linda and Jeff. And Eric. So this is everything that we include in here, and you are welcome to pause this at any time you want to. And there's 3 different levels. So we want you to go to that page that I told you about. You have to be accepted. We only have room for so many people because we spend a lot of time with each student. So all you need to do is go to the website that I talked to you about before, which I'll repeat again. We're also going to give you the real estate online program as part of it. And here's the deal. If you come to first class and it's not what you want, we will give you all of your money back. We've never had to do it. We've also added some other bonuses, lows. We have a no money down blueprint, so we have strategies of how to, we give you scripts. We hold your hand through the property walkthrough. Here's a 2-family, but most importantly, we save you over and over and over again. We save you so much money on your renovations. This was a deal that the coaching student had bought before he came into the program, and it had been sitting there for months because of so much work he had no idea what to do. Lou walked through the project with him and saved him over $10,000. Not only that, he actually finished it and rented it out, and now they're a father-daughter team, and he's now a grandfather, and now they're on their like 3rd or 4th deal, all because of coaching. Linda saved, again, $10,000 on rehabbing on a 2-family house, and she's making a lot of money on her passive income. Here's Kevin. He was looking at a deal, and it just wasn't coming together. Finally, he talked to the coach, and the coach says, walk away. He says he finally got a good night's sleep, but more importantly, he left this deal, this dog, behind, and since then he's been able to buy multiple apartment complexes, and he's doing it without using any of his own money. So because he got rid of one deal, he found lots of better ones, and we were able to help him out with it. We go through the closings with you so that we make sure that there are no mistakes on there. And sorry, there's a couple duplicates in here. Most importantly thing is this. We want to get you through your first deal. Do you remember Bob and Karen? And their first deal, that 3-family house, they were able to get that property done, and now they just finished another one, and they made a $60,000 profit. Just incredible. So there's a couple other people. First of all, you get a private money program, you're going to want to get private money, and this program teaches you how to get private money along with the documents you're going to need so you can raise funds from friends and family. Our coaching students have raised millions of dollars from people that they already know. You get an LLC through attorney Gary Levine. You only have to pay for the filing fees, but you're going to need an LLC right away so that you can apply for commercial credit, so that you can close on these deals. So we're going to give you one so we don't wait. So if all the system did was gave you confidence to make offers, because if you're here, you've already heard about real estate. Maybe you've already done real estate. Maybe you've made some mistakes in the past about real estate. So if all the system did was give you confidence to make offers, if all we could do is turn one lead into a money-making profit, or converted just one tenant into a better-paying tenant and increase your rents, or helped you negotiate one owner finance deal, would this program be worth it? Would your investment in time and money and energy, would this be worth it? We can change your life. So again, what I'd like for you to do is go to ctriacoachingprogram.com for the application, and go to coaching.ctria.com for all the details of the program. And I look forward to seeing you very soon. Again, we start Wednesday, March 23rd. If you're hearing this after March 23rd, our classes are every other week, and most of the material is recorded online, and we can get you started right away. So don't take any more time to think about it. Just take action. Let's have a conversation. Decide if this is the right program for you. I look forward to being part of your journey to success.